Okay, if you would please grab out your textbooks and we're going to turn to page 65. Okay, and we're looking at activity 2.3. All right, so converting between systems. In this activity, you will use common conversions shown in the table to convert between customary and metric measurements. Okay, so here's our table below. We're going to actually keep referring back to this table here. Okay, so to convert between measurement systems, you can scale up or scale down using ratios. Two methods are shown to determine how many kilograms are in 2.5 pounds. So they wrote 1 pound is equal to 0.45 kilograms, 2.5 pounds is equal to 1.25 kilograms. And they showed that going from 1 pound to 2.5, you multiplied by 2. So to go from 4.5 or 0.45, we multiplied by 2.5. Or you can also write this as a ratio and a proportion, which this way we are used to seeing this way more often, where we write our proportion and we're scaling up and scaling down. Okay, so we're going to use this method and this table to help us answer these questions here. All right, so the local zoo hosted a marathon to raise money to remodel the aviary. An aviary is a large enclosure for birds, which gives them more living space where they can fly, unlike confining them to bird cages. All right. To train for a marathon, which is 26.2 miles, okay, yep, 26.2 miles, or approximately, so this is important, 26.2 miles or 42.2 kilometers, runners build up the endurance by running shorter distances. So complete the table shown by writing the unknown measurement and round to the nearest tenth when possible. All right, oops, so I'm going to have my calculator here, okay, so I'm going to start kind of with the half marathon because I know that a full marathon is 26.2 miles. And I'm told that a half marathon, which is half of that, is 13.1. Okay, so I'm going to take 14.2. I'm going to divide it by 2. Okay, so I'm going to use my little handy dandy calculator here. 14.2, and I'm going to divide it by 2. And I see that it's going to be 21.2 kilometers. Okay. 21.2 kilometers. All right. And then let's take a look here. So what I can do is, let's see, I bet I have a 1 mile. Yep. So 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. Okay. So 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. And then if I look for 1 kilometer, right here, is equal to 0.62 miles. So 1 kilometer is equal to 0.62 miles. All right, so that's going to help me out here because if I go from 1 kilometer to 5, I multiplied it by 5. So I'm going to do 0.62 times 5. I'm going to get 3.1 miles. Okay. Well, if I go from 5 to 10, I doubled it. So I need to double my numbers here. So 6.2. I doubled it again, so I'm going to double my numbers again. So 12.4. Okay. Well, let's take a look. I have 100 kilometers. So if I'm going to go from 1 to 100, I'm going to multiply by 100. So I need to do the same thing here. So 100 times 0.62. And I get 62 miles. All right. And now I need to work backwards. So I have 2.24 miles. I know that for 2.4 miles, it's going to be equivalent to 1 mile is equivalent to 1.61. So if I go from 1 to 2.4, I'm going to multiply these two numbers. So 2.4 times 1.61. And I'm going to get 3 and let's round to the nearest tenth. So my calculator says 864, but I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So I look at 6, I see that's bigger than 5, and I'm going to round the 8 up to 9. And I'm going to do the same steps for 112. So I'm going to have 112 times 1.61. And I'm going to round to the nearest 10. Well, 2 is below 5, so I'm going to leave 3 alone. So I'm going to have 180.3. Okay, 180.3. Okay. The zoo earned the money that they needed to remodel the aviary. To figure out the amount of supplies needed, they will need to measure the space. The zookeeper realizes that she only has a meter stick and not a ruler or yardstick. She measures the aviary, but needs to know the dimensions in inches and feet. In order to purchase the materials, she records the following measurements. All right, so I have to go from meters to inches. So let's look. Let's see. 1 meter is equal to 39.37 inches. So 1 meter is equal to 39.37 inches. And I also need to go to feet. So let's do this one. And 1 feet is 3.28. So 1 meter is equal to 3.2. Yep, I just want to make sure. 8 feet. All right. So what is the length of the room in inches and feet? And round to your nearest tenth. All right. So, well, I know that 1 meter is over 39.37 inches. And I have 5 meters and I want to know my inches. Okay. So I'm going to multiply by 5. And let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's do this one by hand. All right. All right, 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 times 9 is 45, 46, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 2 places behind the place value. So in inches, it's 196 and 85 inches. Okay, and then we'll do the feet in the calculator. All right, so I have a 1 meter over 3.28 feet. I have 5 meters, unknown number of feet. I'm going to multiply by 5 on both top and bottom. So 3.28 times 5, I get 16.4 feet. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do it for B and C. If you would like to actually pause your computer or pause the video and complete B and C on your own, and then just come back and check. Okay, you're going to follow the same exact steps that we have done here. So I have a 1 meter, 39.37 inches equals 4 meters, an unknown. 1 meter, 3.28 feet is equal to 4 meters, an unknown. Okay, I'm going to multiply by 4 on both sides, times 4, to get 157.48 inches, or 4 times 3.28, or 13.12 feet. And I'm going to do the same thing for C. 39.37 is equal to 2.5 meters, an unknown. 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet is equal to 2.5 meters, an unknown. So 39.37 times 2.5, 98.425 inches. 3.28 times 2.5 is 8.2 feet. Okay. So if you guys are just joining us back, these are our answers. What we did was times 4 on both top and bottom here. And then we multiplied by 2.5 on both top and bottom here. All right, there are 39.37 inches in a meter. Explain to a classmate how many feet are in a meter. Okay, so in 1 meter, there are 3.28 feet. Okay, just